hella strong out there.
Yeah, extra strong. With a muscle in the house. You ain't going nowhere house.
For real.
Get your over here. Think you tough, huh? You
Get on my way.
Yeah, you think you tough? Yeah, you think you tough, house? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna win. Yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about it. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right, man. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to our set here. Our episode is gonna be something a little bit different, but definitely needed. So welcome back everybody. Again, my name is Jacques Wright, one of the hosts.
Adrian Peace.
And this is the Nice Guys Podcast. So welcome back everybody. So we got a subject.
We do have a subject.
We have a real, I think it's a subject that's very important to talk about. I think
a lot of people need to hear this one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it's something that's very common. I've had conversations with somebody all the time, a couple entrepreneurs outside of, obviously yourself as well as myself, and seen these experiences where people were trying to get that $5 discount. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's called Pay to Play.
Pay to Play.
All right. So number one thing, man, as an entrepreneur, I think we all like to be able to make money, be able to sustain and take care of our situation while pursuing our dreams and our purpose, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be able to make some money in order to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So when people come with that 5-figure discount,
man,
because they've been knowing you for some years,
right?
And you probably still owe you some money. For all the people that's out there, you know who you is. Don't even try to pretend like you know. If you get offended, it's probably you. It's probably
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably talking about you.
Absolutely. So I've seen it a little bit with a couple of family members. You expect it. You know what I mean? Even when you go to certain events, you know what kind of demographics you're dealing with. And I mean, I've talked to people about it as well, and it's a kind of a truth. You do see a difference in like how you're being treated. As an entrepreneur, especially with being African American or whatever the situation, or whatever, how you want to identify yourself as being melanated, whatever the situation here in America or Africans in America, how you want to identify, it's a lot different. Because you see these major clothing companies, Gucci, Louis Prada, Gucci, Louis Prada, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Balenciaga. You know what I'm saying? Was it Amiri? One of Da Vinci or Givenchy. I don't know how you say that.
Givenchy.
You know what I'm saying? Versace. I got some Versace on right now. You know what I'm saying? We pay full price.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's facts. Right.
You see them all the time, full price.
They don't give too many discounts.
They don't hesitate.
Yeah.
Ain't no discounts. Even unfortunately, when the whole situation happened with George Floyd, they were there raiding these stores.
Right.
They know they finna go back online and repost and then sell these at full price.
Crazy.
On their little site. But when it comes to you, can I preach a little bit? When it comes to you,
well,
you know what I'm saying? Wow. When it comes to you, it's like, yo, let me go, you know what I'm saying? Even though you my mans, bro, let me get a discount. Nope. Like only on Friday? No. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's the value behind it. It's not really that I'm trying to get something from you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep things sustained and keep my vision going. And if I continue to keep depleting my situation, how can I reinvest?
How?
You know
how,
what I'm saying?
Sway?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody want to be the boss, but don't want to pay the cost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
man.
Like, you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
For sure.
In anything in life, if you want to progress, you must invest. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I feel like a lot of times we can be nice guys and give people these discounts or like, yeah, I'll do it for you for free.
Right.
And not realizing that like really your free time can't be free. You know what I'm saying?
It's not free at all.
It's not free.
It's not free.
I know I tell people every bit of free time that I have, I earned it, and it's mine to do what I want with it.
Facts.
I don't necessarily have time to cater to your business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If I'm not getting anything out of it. Like,
facts.
Like, of course, I want to help you.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to, see especially another black person succeed with whether they had a small business or whether they got, an artistic endeavor.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But we gotta draw the line somewhere.
Got to, man. And you would think you'd be proud to be able to see yourself or see somebody else that resembles your situation, your phenotype, be able to be successful. You know what I mean? I get proud. I get excited.
For sure.
I'm like, I don't have to go to the store, but I can get this from you directly.
Yeah.
I can pay you to do the rawness that you do, that you was, your God-given talent, or your whatever the universe bestowed upon your spirit to be able to present to the world. I'm happy to support that at full price. And I want to ask a question whenever I see like any type of company, shout outs to any company that I've supported, either whether it be, Aboriginality or my homie Lamar with his situation with mind control, or even my, the gumbo lady, we call it the gumbo, my girl, True Airy, you know what I'm saying? Jersey girl, she got, gumbo fire at the farmer's market, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all those people that I've supported. And we've had these conversations as individuals, like, man, black people, when we get around each other, we want to actually get them discounts. Oh, we get upset about the price point. But you don't get mad when you go to Gucci.
At all.
Calvin Klein's.
Right.
Hilfigers with the S. I'm saying with the S. We saying with these S guys now. I'm saying the S again because
Tommy Hilfigers.
That melanated S.
The Gucci's.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Preach. Right? So even with my experiences, I've gone to certain events. I'm not going to name no names. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to respect the space, of course, and the opportunities. But I've seen it. Like, I know kind of how to prepare for certain events because I know people are not going to be willing to hit the price tag or they don't have it within their budget. Now, I will say this. I do side with the situation, understanding that socioeconomically we are at the lower side of things in regards to our communities and being more impoverished per se. But then it's like, what happened? What goes on with the GDP situation?
Yeah, because I'll admit there's another side of that where we get a little too, I guess, bougie and want to charge astronomical prices for things sometimes. Right. That it's like, okay, really, you want me to pay this for that? It's like, okay, I get that it's artisan, I get that it's handmade or whatever the case may be, whatever the product or service is. Right. But some people can get a little too, and this is kind of business 101. Like, you got to understand your audience. We want to sell to certain people, and we want to be like, okay, I want my business, my black owned business I want black people to support my black owned business. And so you might go to a certain event or something like that that's filled with a certain demographic. You got to understand that demographic might be within a certain price range economically, that they can afford. So you do have to understand your demographicals. Yeah, demographicals. But melanated S, I call I'm calling that too. That's gonna be one of melanated S. That's gonna be in there. That's what just like recognizations. Recognizations. We finna coin these. Hey, we need to get these. You know what I'm saying? Copyright as soon as probably trademarked or something. You know what I mean? But we definitely get into it. But I definitely get what you're saying in a way too. I just feel like, how far do we need to go down? You know what I'm saying? How long? Because if you're getting original artwork, shout out to anybody that understands artwork, of course. It's an original piece, so if it gets replicated, that's when it depreciates in value. But if you have an original piece as like a canvas or whatever, even JT talks about it in 444, bro, it multiplies over time because as an artist, you can't replicate that same exact piece unless you do a print, which obviously those are going to be a lot cheaper because, of course, you're getting it from an original piece, but you have the original art piece. Your value, your market value for that piece is crazy. Because when I'm gone and I perish, I'm no longer here physical, that piece is still going to outlive me. So that value, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's also about the product that you are putting out there as well. Because, we all know that clothes depreciate in value. Right. Maybe I am taking it to heart because I'm an artist. I understand exactly what happens as an artist when you're creating certain things. It's not always easily replicated by other people. But at the same time, it's like, should I have to coach that every time? I don't know, man. I just think about it. You know what I'm saying? It does hit a certain way. And I definitely want to make sure I meet people halfway. But I don't want to be too nice. Right. You know what I'm saying? Can't be. Like, at what point are you gonna, if we want our businesses and stuff like that to not just, I don't want to just pigeonhole it into just business, because like artistry goes the same way. Like, if we want people to invest in our artistry, buy our vinyls. If you're a music artist that, you made vinyls for your project because it's that special to you, and you feel like, you want people to buy this thing, or you're a visual artist and you got prints for sale and stuff like that. We want people to buy those things. And so you kind of have to put yourself in the mindset of, I'm worth this money. You know what I'm saying? Your value. I'm worth the same money that you would pay for, a Picasso print. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You be reasonable now, but at the same time, you gotta kind of boost your own ego that. You do. To get yourself out there and to make other people believe that you are worth that. So you're finding that balance of like, okay, I'm a I'm gonna price my stuff where I think it deserves to be priced.
Facts.
And, but at the same time, not getting too crazy. But other people have to understand, like, yeah, this is, if I'm gonna spend this money elsewhere, you know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be like that disconnect of why would I pay that money for this nigga sitting right here? You know what I'm saying?
You really feeling the piece. I mean, think about it. Like, even the guy that's sitting behind us right now, rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle. Man, he saw $100 mixtape.
Right.
I mean, you could got it for free, but because of the value behind it, because of the fact that he respected his process, he respected himself, he loved his craft, and you want people to do the same. It's like you want people to basically treat your art craft, treat what you have created the same way you treated it. You nurtured it. It's like your baby, you know what I'm saying? So when you create a process like that or create value for that, I feel like it kind of sustains yourself. Because I'm pretty sure Gucci and Louis didn't start off at the same price tag.
Right.
They had to come out a certain way, kind of build their momentum, but they had an idea, they had an understanding of what their value was, and they had a trajectory. So it's like, as you progress and you become more established, you know what I'm saying? Just treat me with the same respect you would treat, Gucci, Louis, or Prada. Because eventually I'm going to get to that same level. So it's like, once I'm showing you and exuding that as well, just respect the process. That's all I'll say.
Respect the process.
You know what I'm saying?
And man, here's another little gem. We dropping some gemicals today. We dropping some gems, man, today. So, for the business owners and whatnot, I can tell you one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made was being too nice and pricing my stuff too low and getting priced out of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was pitching my service. For those who don't know, I own a media production company. We do photography and video production.
Shout it out.
So Revolution Media, you know what I'm saying? Check us out. But I went to pitch I don't know if I can say. I went to pitch a business, and that business was probably prepared to spend upwards of $5,000 on this project. I went in and quoted them for about $2,000. So that eliminated me because I priced myself too low.
Low ball, just
because I'm thinking
afraid of
afraid of the rejection, afraid of them seeing that how small my business is, thinking that they think they worth that. Man, I ain't gonna, what I'm saying? So I priced myself out of that, and here I am seeing somebody else shoot their stuff and
making more than what you projected, or even that $5,000.
And it's like, I know I can do that job right there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All I had to do was really believe in myself. So
that's the key word, believe in yourself, man.
Exactly.
Even Arthur would say, man, believe in yourself, and that's the place to start.
That's the place. It's a simple message.
You know what I'm saying? Message that comes from the heart.
Exactly.
Believe in yourself, and that's the place to start.
And I say, hey. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, it be some gems that we just gotta cue in. I mean, indoctrination. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna put that down. Indoctrination is a hell of a drug, right? And we're gonna get into that. That definitely has to be. We're gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Comments, really. But yeah, and it's just like, even for myself, like one time, and as an artist, I think we understand the starving artist concept, of course. Like, I've been in events, and I'm like, yo, I gotta sell something because I gotta make my money back because I done spent $150 for the event space, and I gotta make that money back plus more. So like, I've lowballed myself, and it had a trickle down effect. I had a really big Kobe piece I had been sitting on for a couple of years. Kobe passed away, rest in peace to the Black Mamba, and I lowballed myself. And unfortunately, I think that was another lesson for me to learn. That person that I sold the piece to initially at the same event told somebody else how much I charged them for that same. It was a huge canvas compared to another piece that I had did for Malcolm X. Shout out to Malcolm X. His birthday is this month, of course, coming up soon. And it was like, why would I spend more if his piece was 36 by 48 and your piece right here is like maybe 30 by 40? Why would I spend more for this piece? And I didn't know that he told that person how much I set up a deal with. Like, I was like, man, look, I'll work this out. But he told somebody else. So like, right there, that credibility kind of like got shot because that person, I probably could have got more for the Malcolm X piece and for the Kobe piece, but I lowball myself because of desperation. So that's another part of the process. And even the guy that I sold the Kobe piece to, no offense to homie, he was just like, yo, you're going to be famous one day. I'm like, but you lowball the crap out of me. You know what I'm saying? I lowball myself by settling. The next day I did feel a certain way. Not because I didn't believe in myself, but I was in a very tough financial spot. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think that was a lesson learned from me, because if I had stuck to my guns and knew exactly how much I wanted to price the piece for, then the young lady couldn't have questioned anything about the Malcolm X piece.
Exactly.
So I learned a lot within that couple hours.
For real.
I was like, this is a whole life lesson right here. I'm keeping my price and I'm sticking to it. Like, no offense to, people that are not fans of R. Kelly. And I'm sticking to it. When I set their price, I'm sticking to it. You know, and it ain't changing. Dog. I'm not changing. So I get it. I definitely understand. I can piggyback off your story for sure.
Yeah. And another tough thing is like, we understand too, especially I'm speaking mostly about like service-based business because that's what I do. So if you don't have the money to purchase somebody's service, offer something. Offer whatever you have. If you have a product line, offer that product to this person, the service provider. Like,
trade and barter.
Yeah, trade and bartering system. Yeah. Go back old school with it.
For real.
Hey man, look, you can be like, I don't even have it to give to you right now, but you know what I'm saying? 2 months from now, I'm getting a new load of inventory in. You know what I'm saying? Like, work something out with the person so they don't feel like they're doing it for absolutely nothing.
For real, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Taking advantage of the kindness and making it into more of a weakness. And it's like, if you know you have that, you have those resources, just think about it. Take a second to breathe. I mean, of course, I understand we live in a capitalist society, so people don't want to capitalize on every situation, every endeavor. But sometimes it's like, come on, man. That's just, you just robbing the person blind at that point. You see the talent, you want to take advantage of it, I get it. But just think, be considerate, man. Right. Trade and barter is a real thing. Yeah. So you might have the bread, but if you get a couple T-shirts on, we can work with each other.
Exactly.
What we're trying to get is understanding that you can collectively work together with people because we can all contribute something to what's going on.
We can find some kind of solution.
Absolutely, man. So pay to play, that's a huge thing, man. And I think as young, Black business entrepreneurs, we're learning in our process. Even with this process, probably gonna be some stuff that comes up. And I think from our previous endeavors and things that we've dealt with, we just know we're not going to allow ourselves to settle. Like, say, for instance, I speak into existence. We get a deal to do a podcast, right? Oh, I'm going for the big bucks.
Got to.
We not going for nothing less. Yeah. You understand? Shout out to my boy Noriega and Joe Budden. we going for the big boy, $1 million worth of game. They got the big bucks. They making some millions of dollars. So I'm like, I'm never going to lowball the situation because I understand, like, when Master P did his situation. Yeah. As an entrepreneur, he knew that even though he could have signed a $2 million deal, he's like, man, they gave me $2 million. Imagine how much they make on the back end. And it's always been the case historically. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, slavery was a $4 billion industry. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And that's back in the day. $4 billion back then, back in the 600s. That's, that's a lot of money. Yeah. That's trillions probably back. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta understand the value of everything that you do. And understand exactly what's gonna happen going forward. Because it's like chess, man. We play chess all the time. It's like you gotta think about the foresight and like what's gonna be the end result. And understand your values gonna carry on, even though you might not be here. It can be, something that can be passed down to your next gen or things of that nature too. So
yeah, absolutely. We're gonna take a quick break. You know what I'm saying? Let y'all know this is where your ad could go. This is where your music, your art. You know what I'm saying? This could be the segment,
clothing line
for you to
modeling.
Put that, talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? You got hey man, some models. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to snip dips. Y'all want to come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So hit us up. Yeah. Nice guys. I don't even know what our email is, but we're going to put that down below.
Yeah, we're going to throw that in the tag. It's going to be at the bottom of the screen.
Right. Yeah, check the description if you're listening. Yeah. If you're with us on this audio adventure.
Oh, for sure.
We'll be right back.
Absolutely.
All right, welcome back to the Nice Guys podcast. Yeah. We talking about paying to play.
Paying to play.
I mean,
intentionality behind understanding your value and keeping things consistent. And I was just telling him as well too, while we was kind of going through a little break, that, a lot of times it just helps out to establish a relationship and rapport. And you never know how that continuity is going to be established going forward with other businesses, because not only are you solidifying yourself and your, what your purpose is, and you're grounding yourself, so then it's going to reciprocate from the universe. your reoccurring situation. So I've had case in point people that have come back to me and are excited to pay, even pay probably a little bit more, or recommend me to other people. And understand that price tag is definitely the situation because I talked about the other previous situation where I was in that one event and saw that kind of worked against me.
Yeah.
Where I've seen the opposite. Whole opposite. I stuck to my price. Hey, look, I'm charging you $350 for this piece. That's what the deposit is going to be. And I learned from that experience.
Right.
And that same person came back 3 more times and brought somebody else.
Yeah.
And I saw the complete opposite of the situation. So I feel like if you stick to your guns, I'm probably preaching again, but if you stick to your guns and you know exactly what your value is, see, the universe I feel like the universe is going to reward you.
For
you
real.
know? When I read a book by this guy named, shout out to Ben Horowitz, but he had a book called The Hard Things about solidifying and creating a business. And he said his intentionality. You know, he said he wanted a certain amount within a certain year, you know, to be able to be produced from his actual company he was creating. And he was able to strive to get that and more. Mm-hmm. So not only did he continue to stick by his guns, I forgot the price tag, but he saw that amount and he saw more. Even Jim Carrey. Like, shout out to Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is one of the funniest dudes out there. A legend, for sure. From Living Color to just being on the Main Street to The Mask to Ace Ventura.
The Mask, that was my joke.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
That on VHS, you used to run that thing.
That's a classic. Being low-key and all that. But even with him, he wrote a $10 million check for himself and he mailed it to himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? He mailed that check to himself, never opened it. And then eventually within his career, he saw $10 million. So you're setting your intentionality. You're setting up a situation where, again, it's plays into the pay to play, but this is like, I know exactly where my money is supposed to come from or my success is supposed to come from, and I'm going to stick to it. Exactly. You know, that's a life lesson as well, too, because we can learn from that just, you know, from a business aspect to an interpersonal, even relationship standpoint. With people, intimate relationships, you stand your ground, you know what your value is and what you want. You start to see those things take fruition. Yeah. For sure.
For sure. And I feel like, you know, the first half of the conversation, we kind of talked about more of the customer standpoint of like, you know what I'm saying, telling the customer, you know, stop being a little, you mean, that word.
Yeah,
and
that part.
And we trying to monetize here.
Yeah, we are. For sure.
And
cut back on the cousins.
The cousins. Yeah. But, you know, we talking about now kind of more of the business person aspect, you know, telling, you know, be intentional, you know, make sure you believe in yourself, stand your ground in that. And also, what goes along with that too, value the customers that do pay full price.
Pay homage.
You know
I do pay homage on my
part of that is not being so discount happy. Yeah. Because if you got a valuable customer that consistently pays full price, but you over here,
then somebody
the hagglers is coming to you.
That's a good
point.
That's a good point.
Like, man, let me get that for $300, man. And then you folding. What about the person that paid full price,
They're
man?
going to feel like, wow, and not only will they kind of lose a little bit of respect in a sense because they're going to be like, the value of what you have is depreciating. Because Apple ain't budging. Shout out to Apple. Nigga, Steve Jobs died. Right. And Apple's still making new iPhones every year. They tried to hit me up recently for the 14. I'm like, why didn't you have 14? I got to love this more. But of course, they've developed that like you said, they stood their ground. They know exactly how they want to market things, and they're not budging.
Right.
They're sticking to exactly what it is. Nobody's asking no questions. They still make you pay $1,000 for a phone. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't asking. They ain't changing. They not changing nothing.
Facts.
So take heed to what they actually are doing and understand your value. You know, a lot of times I feel like we kind of talk. We don't talk about this too. We definitely have to talk about indoctrination. But I feel like this things that's ingrained into us from an early stage. You know, cognitively and in terms of our cognitive development, that kind of play a part in that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that it was all maliciously intent, but of course there's things that's being put out there subconsciously that make you kind of feel like, you know, maybe I shouldn't ask for this. But then you should actually question him, like, why should I not ask for this? You know, everybody else is asking, how these people becoming billionaires and becoming presidents and becoming kings and moguls and making all this money because they're willing to break the mold. They're willing to go against it, go through any situation, even when it comes to failure. So, like, even if you have to set your bar high, do that. Because now you with your situation with, you know, the amount, the price point, you saw somebody else maybe even get a little bit more than what you got. Right. And they were willing to settle for that.
For real.
So they probably would have saw more value in your situation if, you know, say you stuck to your guns. So that's just how we have to learn from these lessons, man. And that's a huge thing. I mean, I know you learned a lot. I learned a lot too. Because you feel sick to your stomach when you know your value. You know how hard you work. I know how hard I'm doing that work.
Pay this dang water bill. Could have used that.
The water company don't ask no question. They gonna send you that same bill.
Right.
You use all that water, you got to pay for the water, right? You use all electricity, you got to pay for electricity. Burn the gas, you got to pay for the gas. Ain't nobody asking no questions.
Right.
So never lowball your situation. Never. It's to stop doing that. Shout out to Nip. Man. The Nip, for me, that was prolific. He charged people $100 for something they could have got for free.
Right.
But he understood his value, his process, what his intentionality was, his foresight, the future. He knew what he wanted to go towards. And we all have that innately inside of us. Just tap into it.
Right.
Follow the intuition. It's there for a reason.
Part of not being, too nice is being willing to, like you said, break the mold.
Yeah.
Think outside the box.
Yeah.
Push the envelope.
Got to push the envelope. Got to push
things
hard.
like that. And I will say too, if you're gonna, if you're gonna give discounts and stuff like that, work that into your business structure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be earn your leisure right now, but I feel like work that into your business structure, because like I said, you want to be consistent with your pricing. So if you're giving certain people discounts just because they can't afford it, and not making other people pay full price,
right?
That's not necessarily right. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of disrespectful to the people that are paying full price. Yeah. Maybe you can work out something with the people who can't afford it, like some kind of payment plan where they're still paying the same thing.
And I've seen people do that. Producers. Exactly. I can't pay $500 for beat out right. But if I know you have a good relationship, I'm about integrity. I'm gonna keep paying you every month. Exactly. $100 so we get to that 5-month marker, or every 2 weeks I pay you a certain amount to get to that $500 marker. And when we do that, man, that just builds more rapport, builds more relationships.
Or depending on what the situation is, it might not come in necessarily a regular payment. You might get royalties. Right. Like, hey, put me down as a writer on this, or put me down as a collaborator on that, so I get some kind of royalties. Let me sign a deal with you and do a profit share thing, so that when you sell these clothes, I get paid off of that until we reach a certain point, or There's always ways to work it. There's always ways to work it out, but make sure you let's be fair. You know what I mean?
Be fair about it. Yeah. And shout out to all the people that supported Umi Art this year. That's my brand as well, my company as well. All the artists, people that actually supported artists and supported people that's actually bought pieces. I appreciate y'all for real. And anybody wants something, let me know. I commission artwork as well, so I'm developing some other stuff too. So just want to put that out there. But I appreciate all y'all, man.
Yeah, shout out to all the supporters, man, and to all of those that ain't support, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's cool.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not cool. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you're not going to support. You know what I'm saying?
Poet nigga.
You're going to catch on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to catch on eventually. It's all good. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Yeah. I'm trying to support for real. I don't like that either. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, I'm not.
I was very angry when that dude said, "You gonna be famous?" I'm like, "No, nigga, they pay the full price. I don't ask you for a certain amount. Right. The piece is huge." Anyway, but we all learn from those situations, man. So shout out to those people too, man. They taught me a valuable piece, right? A lesson in entrepreneurship as well too. Shout out to them for that. Even though it was unintentional, but I learned something. Something too. So we all do. Sure.
Man, we now at our what segment we hitting today?
All right, y'all. So we was talking about buzzwords, and we definitely want to get into that, of course. So the one thing that stood out to me at one point was just good vibes only, right? For some reason,
good vibes only.
I enjoy that, right? But it's like for some people, they felt like it was kind of like, I'm gonna exclude people that don't have good vibes. So somehow they made it negative. I don't know how the heck that happened, but that was a good vibes only was a really big buzzword at one point. And I mean, I guess I can understand exactly where they're coming from in a sense, but it's just like, what's wrong with being able to say good vibes only?
Yeah, okay. So the one thing I feel like I learned in college that stuck with me, I only did 2 semesters, y'all, but I feel like the one thing that stuck with me out of those 2 semesters was my English teacher. Shout out to Professor Hendon. You know what I mean? She said language is alive. And I was like, yo, that's fire. Especially as a rapper, I was like, yo, that's, you know what I'm saying, as a songwriter. But it made me really think about the fact that like language has the ability to shape the culture.
It does.
Language alone, like, so I feel like everybody started saying that to the point that it really brought forth even more so these people who are just like, big on energy and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of those people, like, who are you to be a judge of of who has good vibes or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I feel like that's the only like negative
it's
thing
kind of
to
like
really.
When you go to certain like churches and stuff, like, oh, your spirit ain't right.
Yeah.
You can't go to church today because your spirit ain't feeling good. Like you're expelled from church today.
Right.
And you negative.
Yeah, we're not even gonna talk about what you did yesterday.
Yeah. I was kind of leading to that a little bit in the sense, but I definitely see what you're saying. That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't want to feel like you're excluding people unintentionally, but intentionally in a sense, because you're saying, well, you're negative. You can't be around me.
Yeah.
I'm too positive for you.
Right, yeah.
How is that possible? You know what I'm saying? Everybody got good and bad. So. But I definitely see it. You know, but I just thought it was a very interesting way that people coined that for a long period of time. And I definitely remember somebody talking about that as well. So you kind of brought back, you know, that spark in my synapses, brought that back too. So I definitely can agree with that one. I'm not even going to argue with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, I'm too good for you.
Yeah. It kind of
I can't be touched.
Comes off that way.
My vibes too good. Good energy only, boo boo. You can't pay to play up in here. You know what I'm saying? So,
but I mean, I definitely get the point of it. Right? I don't want nobody with bad vibes around you. Energy is definitely a real thing that you gotta be tapped into. Yeah. And understand it. Like some people, you can't invite everybody to your spot.
House. Yeah. I've learned that
everybody can't come to the cubicle.
I've been robbed. Yeah, I've been robbed before. Yeah, that ain't a good feeling. As a kid, you're like, yo, somebody really robbed me that I knew. And it's never some stranger. It's always somebody you know. Yeah. That's what it's been my experience. Like, it be different for somebody.
That's true. Sometimes it be family.
Man, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I want my gold ring back, nigga.
You see what I'm saying? Because I know you took some money. My child support money my mother beat me for. I was like, damn, bro, how am I getting beaten? I was getting my ass whooped. I was like, God damn, what's going on? I was confused. And I got on punishment the whole summer. I'm like, what the fuck is that? What did I do? Man. You know what I'm saying? Stuff happens, you know, so you see things happen. And I think it is a responsibility in a sense, too, when you come up with these certain things with language. Yeah. You know, because it is a double-edged sword. For sure. And it can definitely cultivate and change the vibe in your environment, especially when you're working in sales. Like, I see it as well. Like, your words play a huge part.
Indeed.
And your energy it's all spiritual. Because, like, even when I can't say these things on the camera because I'm getting choked. But when I'm in certain moods, certain vibes, all the sales is going off the chain. I'm going crazy. But when I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this today. It's the internet. And it resonates. The words change. The verbiage changes. I'm very sharp. I'm a lot meaner towards people. I'm not a very open person. So when I'm on these certain influences of flavors or, you know, spices and herbs, all the sales is popping. I'm like, what is he doing? What is you saying, baby? What you doing, baby? You know what I'm saying? The stomach the cells are bubbling. You know what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand what you're saying.
Absolutely. Sure. It's a real thing, man.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we definitely hit a lot. Hopefully we was able to hit something in regards to something that will spark something for you all to feel motivated. Just keep in mind, this podcast is not just for us to be able to make, you know, monetary gain. It helps, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep the lights on. You know, shout out to the lights. It's a
lot of lights.
Shout out to CoServe, you know, all the, you know, electrical companies. But of course, we want to make sure that we're able to enlighten other people. You know, that's the whole core of what we want to do. It's hoping to spark something, you know, to make them feel a certain way, to feel cultivated, to feel motivated to be better and you kind of better yourselves. Because we're trying to do that every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every week we come here, it's a new installment to kind of come to something that we've kind of understand. And we take the time out to kind of, you know, talk to you all, you know what I'm saying? Talk with you all, not talk at you. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully inspire, you know, make something different and make a difference. So.
Factimonials.
Absolutely. Factimonials, man. Come to some recognition. You know what I'm saying? Some melanated S's, you know what I'm saying? You know, make that vibe feel good. But absolutely pay to play is definitely something we want to, you know, shout out, of course, in terms of the title for the actual podcast. Right. But again, we do have that segment as well, too. Would be nice. I'm going to keep shouting out Steez until Steez hit us up.
It'd be nice,
we'll hit them up too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Steez. I have a different flavor today. You know, it's hitting the core a little bit differently.
Yeah, this mint is where it's at. I heard that I got to try the peach.
The peach. We ain't got to the peach yet, but that peach is fire. I'm being honest with you. But you know. So, I mean, we're not sponsored by
this brand yet, but I mean, that would be nice. So, you know, run these numbers up so we can get these sponsorships.
Exactly. Shout out to Steez. They've been hooking me up. I've been buying these I got a lot of Steez in my system right now. A lot of Steez is inside of me. A lot of antioxidants. Very Steez. But definitely refreshing at the same time. So shout out to Steez. But again, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in with us, of course. Collectively coming in, you know, being cohesive with us as well. We really appreciate y'all. It's all love. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, my name is Jock Ford Wright.
Adrian Peace, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, do all that stuff if you want to. If not, whatever.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to the Nice Guys podcast.
Absolutely.
And y'all stay blessed.
Peace.
Peace.